We are catching up with Adult Swim Games here at the Mix at E3 2016. It's the dying minutes of this event. You got a whole lineup of games here, 5 games that you're showing off, and I thought we'd rattle them off quickly and then we'll talk about all of them at once. What's the first game here that we see?
Our first game is Gambit. It's by White Rabbit. It's sort of a Metroidvania meets Shadow of the Colossus meets Dark Souls sort of situation. 2D, incredibly difficult, incredibly strategic, absolutely beautiful, unmatched. You've never seen anything like this whatsoever.
Sounds like a wonderful mix.
It's really incredible. I played a new build of it for the first time today, and it was just everything I ever wanted in a video game.
Cool. And we're moving on to the second title here, keeping the pace up, Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine, this is by super awesome Hyperdimensional Mega Team.
You got that right, that's amazing.
It's incredible, I'm really good at my job. They are out of Spain, and this game, we call it a think and gun shooter. It's kind of like Contra, but there are puzzles you have to solve throughout it that are based on the type of bullet that you have. So you solve puzzles with bullets. So it's a little bit puzzle, little bit like hard, really hard action shooter.
And what stands out about it is they got this beautiful visual style.
The art is absolutely incredible. It's unmatched. It sort of has this hand-drawn, parallax sort of scrolling look. It takes place on a planet called Game Earth, where everything is sort of old school game character style. And then the whole planet is ruined when a bunch of space marines show up, which I think is a really good commentary about video games.
It's very meta, and speaking of meta, we're just going to move along for our second Gamereactor team here and get to the third game, Rainworld. Now I saw this game at GDC at the Mix. It was there, but for those who are unfamiliar, what kind of game is it?
Rainworld is a survival game. You play a character that is a slug cat. The animation is procedurally done. There's a lot of different AI that happens in it. You live in an ecology, in a biome, where you're in the middle of the food chain. You're not at the height, you're not the apex predator, you're not at the bottom, you eat bats, but almost everything is trying to kill you at all times. And as you play, it learns how you play, and various different type of things are trying to kill you. It's incredible. Like, Slugcat is really adorable, but everything else there is horrifying, and you're trying to find your family. So it's a really emotional game without being too overtly narrative. It's kind of a lot up to you.
It is a beautiful game though, but it's a very different art style than what we saw last on Rise and Shine. It's beautiful in a very different way.
Yeah, it has a sort of, there's over 1,600 handmade levels in the game that are like different screens, and they cover all sorts of things from being like a garbage dump to being sewerage to being beautiful ruins, kind of covering all sorts of different things in this washed out, ruined world where you're this very vulnerable character that's just trying to stay alive and find its family.
Very cool. Game number 4 is from a fairly well-known studio, I would say.
Yeah, I guess people have probably heard of Double Fine. So this is called Headlander. You play the last organic life on the face of the planet, or in the entire universe. You wake up as just a head inside of a helmet that has a rocket on it. You can fly around. Everything else in the entire universe is robots. So you go from space station to space station, sucking the heads off of robots and landing on their bodies, so you can take them over and take over their special powers to kind of solve exactly what's going on with your life and theirs.
It is a very special game, I gotta say. It's from the mind that gave us Stacking, one of my favorite games from Double Fine of all time. But what's a little bit surprising about it, is how much action there is in the game. It's an action game, basically. It's a shooter.
Yeah, there's a lot of action in it. One of the things that Lee Petty, the creator of the game, wanted to do was make lasers cool again. It has a 70s aesthetic, so it looks like 70s sci-fi. It looks like Logan's Run or Zardoz or even slightly earlier stuff like Barbarella, and it has that really sort of rounded look. There's also a lot of sexual double entendres in it that are very, very funny while still remaining kind of family friendly.
Oh,
Oddly. I don't know even how that works, but it does.
Yes. All right, that sounds cool. Where's that game at in development right now?
Headlander will be out at the end of July, or right around the end of July, and it's coming out for PlayStation 4 and PC.
So it's middle of the crunch then, or just polished state, or?
Yeah, they're just really working on finishing up all the bugs and getting it finished, but it's really done, very, very close to done. It's really exciting.
Okay, we have reached the end of it, the 5th game, and I think it's kind of a fitting ending to end on Wasted because the party is almost over.
It's over. So this is one of my favorites. I love this game. I play it all the time. This game just came out on Steam. It's called Wasted, a post-apocalyptic pub crawler. It's as if the bombs dropped in the 1980s and created a nuclear apocalypse where the only thing that lived were some humans and a bunch of coolers where they keep a bunch of alcohol. So everybody's kind of like inbred radioactive idiots who are also drunks. And your job is to go into these coolers and liberate the alcohol, which is very fun.
Sounds great. It's sort of like the reason for staying alive is what keeps you alive, sort of thing.
And probably what will kill you. Yeah.
It's a circle of life.
Exactly. But it's amazing, and there's daily leaderboard runs, and it's one of the funniest games we've ever put out.
I think it's telling when you move for these 5 games. It says a lot about Adult Swim Games. I think the range of games and the sort of the creativity on display here. What goes into sort of picking the games that you end up publishing?
Well, we have an incredible crack team, just like people just looking at games all of the time, who are very, very talented, incredible people. And then we as a team look at everything, and it really has to be something that we all feel is really, really special, really has something to say that's really unique and incredible before we put our stamp on it.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Before we end, do we have a launch date for Duck Game on PS4?
Introducing Duck Game, Adult Swim's new Steam game about ducks.
We don't have a launch date, but we are working very, very hard on it, and my God, is that game incredible.
Grab some friends, choose a hat, then shoot each other in the face.
Indeed. Thank you.